Hey folks, today we'll be making Bucatini All'amatriciana, one of the 4 classic Roman pastas. Now this is super easy to make. What you'll need is some guanciale or pancetta like I have here if you can't find guanciale. You'll need some Pecarino Romano cheese, or you can use Parmesan if you can't find that. Garlic powder, an onion, which is optional. It's not really in the classic recipe, but I like to throw an onion in. And you want some high quality DOP San Marzano tomatoes. You'll of course need a bit of salt and pepper. And finally, you'll need bucatini, which is like spaghetti, but there's a hole through each of the noodles. So let's get started. I'll start off by putting a pot of water on the boil, and we'll chop our onion. So normally I use a mandolin to finely dice the onions, but pasta alla matriciana is generally a pretty rustic dish, so we can feel free to chop them coarsely. So now we have our water on the boil and we have our onions chopped, and we can start off by caramelizing the onions in a large pan, where we'll also add in our tomatoes and things after. I'll add in a touch of sugar just to help the caramelization process. You don't want them to be over caramelized, but you do want a little bit of color on them. So once our pan's hot, we'll start off by adding in a touch of olive oil. And then we can add in our onions. If you notice your onions start to burn, you can add in a touch of water to deglaze. And I'll season these lightly with salt and pepper. We'll add in our pinch of sugar. Once they have some nice color, we can throw in our pancetta or guanciale. Now we want to render a lot of that fat and allow the onions to fry in that oil. They have some nice color, but they're not fully cooked through, so we're going to do that now. Now we see a lot of that fat rendered off and it's frying in the fat. Now once we have everything fried nicely, we can add in our tomatoes. And at this point we can also add in our garlic powder. Now the water is taking some time to boil, but while that's going on, we can break up our tomatoes. Like I said, you can use an immersion blender or a wooden spoon or a potato masher. Depending on how rustic you want it, you can break them up very finely, or you can keep them in large chunks. And you just want to simmer this down a little bit, let it cook through and let all the flavors combine. We'll season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. We'll add in some pasta water at the end that will bring our consistency to where we want it. And the pasta water will have some starches that'll help bring together the cheese and the sauce. The cheese will also be added at the end. Now our water is boiling, so I'll add in the pasta. And you want to cook the pasta for about 5-ish minutes. You don't want it to cook fully. We're going to finish the cooking process in the sauce, but you want it to be just before al dente, I'd say. So happy with this consistency. We'll stir with a spoon. So now that our pasta is just getting to al dente, we can add it into our sauce. Don't worry about adding in water as well. We'll just use some tongs and throw it straight in. We're going to be adding water at the end anyways, so it's totally fine. Save the pasta water. We'll be using some to thin out our sauce if it's too thick, and let these combine and let the pasta cook through to al dente. Now's a good time to taste the sauce. Make sure it's seasoned well, and add in any salt or pepper as you need. Perfect. The quality of the tomatoes really matters here. Getting those high quality tomatoes makes a huge difference because that's the main basis of the sauce. Once it's combined to your liking, you can spoon in some pasta water to thin out the sauce to your preferred consistency. And now with everything combined and cooked through, our pasta is just about done. We can turn off the heat or take it off the heat if you'd like, and we'll add in our cheese slowly and stir it in. You can add more or less cheese depending on your preferences. The smell is just outstanding. And the taste is even better. It's a very simple pasta dish, but it has great flavor, easy to put together, and it plates very well. Now when the cheese is added in, the sauce will thicken again, so that's why we saved our pasta water. We can add in a little bit more if you'd like it a bit thinner. With everything combined, we're done. Now it's just time to plate. And there you have it. A rich, delicious, simple to make sauce that'll be sure to please anybody. Bucatini All'amatriciana. Enjoy. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment if you like this video. Leave a comment with anything you'd like me to make in the future, and have a great day.